The Grasse-Alpin Rally is the first round of the French Rally Championship, and also this year a round of the European Championship as well. Because of the new tyre regulations, in fact, we saw the European competitors setting off from the start ramp first of all. This was Pierre Boss, one of the leading contenders in that European series. First of the French rally drivers to take to the start ramp, Jean Ragnotti in the Renault Clio Maxi kit car, making its French Championship debut. Second car being driven by Philippe Bugalski on this event. Main opponent for the two of them in their Renaults will be last year's champion. Here he is, Patrick Bernardini, in a brand new Ford Escort Cosworth. Well, I'm going to try and put some pressure on them, but of course, first of all, I've got to learn my new car. It's less powerful now because of the turbo restrictor, but I'm going to try my best. One of the outsiders in this rally is Marco Massarotto, driving the Subaru Impreza, and Dominic De Meyer, also making his return to the French Rally Championship in the BMW M3. Last year's winner of the Fiat Cinquecento trophy, Priscilla de Beloy, is also taking part in the French Rally Championship this year, once again in a Fiat Cinquecento, but this, the Group A version. Well, I will do the whole season this year. The car, of course, is totally different to what I had last year. With the old car, you just had to just drive. Now I've basically got to learn what a real rally car is all about. I've got to learn how to set the car up regarding my own driving style. It's going to be a learning year. Well, my aims, my ambitions for this year basically are just to get some good results. It's going to be difficult. We only have 100 horsepower, so the title is going to be tough for us, but hopefully within the class that we can do well. The main rivals for her in that particular class will be the Peugeot 106 and the 205 Rally and the Citroën AX Sport as well. Well, the rally starts with 3 separate stages done twice, a sort of lap of these 3 stages, each stage completed twice, and the early pace setter is Jean Ragnotti in the Renault Clio Maxi. Fastest on the first stages, he takes the lead before the first rest halt. On board with Ragnotti in one of these dramatic 2-litre engine front-wheel drive kit cars. Well, it's a very good championship start for us. We've really been waiting for this rally, the Grasse-Alpin. We didn't know how the car would react on dry roads. It's going very well up to now. Well, after 6 stages, Ragnotti in the lead, but only by a very small margin. Bugalski in second place is just 1 second behind him. Patrick Bernardini is in third position in his Ford Escort Cosworth, a very different machine, the Group A car with 4-wheel drive and a turbocharged engine, but it's finding it hard to match the pace of the Renaults here on the tarmac surface in France. Well, this morning I started off a little bit too quickly. I made a bit of a mistake and picked up a puncture, so I lost a lot of time. Then I had to get back onto the pace and chase after the Renaults. With the restrictor limiting the power, it's definitely a bit of a handicap. I'm having to get used to it. Fourth place is the Subaru Impreza of Marco Massarotto, but he's finding that he's a little bit down on power as well in this car. Nevertheless, he's trying very hard indeed. Quite a moment there for Massarotto. Take another look. Just getting it a bit out of shape, but got it back and continued on the way. Fabien Donlin is driving the Peugeot 306, but this a 1994 car. The 1995 Peugeot 306 kit car not going to be ready until rounds 3 or 4 of the championship. Dominic De Meyer bouncing the engine off the rev limiter as he sets off, holding on to 6th place, and he's only a second behind that Peugeot 306. Bad news, though, for the lady driver in her Fiat Cinquecento. Priscilla de Beloy, well, she retired on the second stage because of mechanical failures. The afternoon section of the rally is also held over 3 stages, and Bernardini is now picking up the pace somewhat in the Ford Escort Cosworth. Bernardini set the equal fastest time on the first of the afternoon stages, and then takes the best times in the two longest stages of the day. He takes the lead before the next rest halt. Well, the stages are now a little bit longer, so all I can use is the whole of the capabilities of the car. Really now much better. I have more mileage to get used to the engine, and it's going a lot better now. Bernardini, however, does not hold the lead alone, because equal fastest at this point in the rally, Philippe Bugalski in the number 22 Renault Clio Maxi. Problems, however, for Jean Ragnotti, only a second down from the two leaders in one of the closest fought French Rally Championship rallies of recent times, but Ragnotti going out with gearbox problems. Well, we had to retire because we lost both third and sixth gears. Can't continue because the lost bits in the gearbox would certainly break it up completely, and then we'd go off the road. Well, the three stages, including the longest, La Colle Saint-Michel, 18.5 kilometers long, are the last on the first day. Bernardini taking the two fastest times, but the differences are absolutely minuscule between him and the Renault Clio Maxi, the one that's left of Philippe Bugalski. At the end of the day, Bernardini having just a 1 second advantage after some very hard-fought stages. Philippe Bugalski has been flying in the Renault Clio Maxi. This car different to the Clios used on last year's Rally Championship, being wider with bigger tyres as well and more power from the 2-litre engine. Well, we're both going to attack very, very hard tomorrow. It's not over yet. Psychologically, it's probably easier for me to be a second behind than a second in front. It's pretty hard to be in front and then to try and set the pace first on the road. Marco Massarotto in the Subaru still in third place, but he's a minute and 22 seconds down from the leader and a minute ahead of his nearest rival. All he has to worry about now is running consistently towards the finish of the rally. That's going well. We've made third fastest time nearly every stage. I can't be as fast as the two leaders. The car's not quite on the pace of them, but I've been trying, and well, I can get near them, but I can't quite match them. So now I'm going to try and hold on to third. De Meyer is still in fourth place, 55 seconds away from Massarotto, but it is a 6-year-old BMW M3, so we can't really expect him to be fully on the pace. Then it's Dunla in the Peugeot 306, 3 minutes and 11 seconds down from the leaders. And he had one or two spins, like this one on Le Corbin stage. And in the European Championship, for which this rally is a points scorer, the leader is Pierre Boss in his Ford Escort Cosworth. In fact, Boss would go on to win the European section of the rally.
Quelles sont ses impressions? Il va pour cela, voilà, venir jusqu'ici. Pierre
Lambruis, Toton and Le Corobon stages to be done twice on the second day. Bernardini setting the fastest times initially, but one of those times again equalled by Philippe Bugalski. Some very, very fast and open stages suiting the more powerful Ford Escort Cosworth, and Bernardini leading at the midday section. Well, this morning I had a bit of a surprise in the first stage, but then I drove fairly coolly, and we got the same time as Bugalski. Then I put on some new tyres, and that made quite a big difference. Really worked. We're going very quickly now, where every tenth of a second is so vital. Well, Bugalski's still in second place now, but dropping down a bit. He's now 17 seconds behind the Ford Escort Cosworth. Of course, losing out on these climbs, particularly with the 2-litre engine, producing about 260 horsepower, as opposed to around 300 brake horsepower from Bernardini's Escort Cosworth.
francs, il va mettre 90 extérieurs pour 2,90. Pour 2,90. Et après, 80 mètres, pour 104 mesures.
Bon, ce sera très
Well,
dur.
it's going to be very, very
Maintenant,
tough,
bon,
but I'm not going to slow down now. We've been fighting since this morning, and well, we've got a problem in that there's a tyre restriction. We don't have the same number of tyres to use, so nothing is done. It's all to play for still. But in fact, drama would come on the very next stage as Bugalski went over the Jabron Bridge just after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. A few hundred metres after that point, he was to go off the road in a big accident. The car collecting a tree and his co-driver Thierry Renault killed immediately. Bugalski unhurt but completely shocked. So tragedy finishing the first round of the French Rally Championship. Bernardini not accepting the garland at the end. A very sad day for all of the drivers and co-drivers and team members in the French Rally Championship. The second round will be the Tour de Corse, an international rally as well, but sadly it will be held without Thierry Renault.